Instagram's algorithm sucks. I know that, and I know that you know that, and I know that you know that because of Threads. So I'm going to be telling you exactly how you can grow your Instagram in 2026 without burning out, know what's working and what's not working, and how you can apply this to your Instagram. So let's get into it. Let's start with what's working. Okay, so number one is authority building content. Now this may seem a little bit obvious, especially if you have a brand or business that you're running through social media, but this is so big because you're going to be seeing a key theme here. It's relatability. So if you can set yourself up as an authoritative figure, but still an everyday person, people are going to gravitate towards that. They're going to feel like it's more obtainable. They're going to feel more related to. Number two is face forward storytelling. As much as we like to talk about this generation and how we are losing our attention span, I do definitely think that we're going backwards. I think that people are getting longer attention spans because it can be so overstimulating to have this super fast cut, edited together video or just scrolling every 6 seconds. People are craving something that can be comfortable and entertaining without all the extra bells and whistles. Again, stories are relatable. When people can relate to you, they are more likely to gravitate towards you, whether you are a business owner, a podcaster, or a personal brand. They want to hear your story. So my biggest piece of advice for you is to learn how to storytell in an engaging way and not just explaining what happened verbatim. Number three is search optimized reels. More than ever, people are going to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, any social media platform to search things up before they go to an actual search engine like Google. Again, people are craving relatability. So when they go to Instagram or whatever other platform and they search in what they're looking for an everyday person like them to explain to them what to do or how to do something. So if you have a podcast and you just started out and you're trying to be an authoritative figure in the podcasting space, a video that you could do is a simple podcast setup. How I set my podcast up as a beginner, how I set my podcast up as a solo podcaster, how to start a podcast. The list can go on and on and on, but the common theme there is how to, because people are searching how to. And number four, don't lose me here, but number four is aesthetic and strategic posting. Now I want to change the definition of aesthetic really quickly because it doesn't necessarily mean that you have this beautifully curated feed. Not that that's a bad thing, but it means the things that you post are on brand. It goes with your brand aesthetic. So yes, we have brand colors, we have brand fonts, we have a brand tone, but is every single trend that comes up fitting your brand? Does every brand that reach out to you actually fit what your brand stands for? That's what I mean by aesthetic and strategic. Working with people who go with your brand, go with your podcast, go with you as a personal brand or an entrepreneur. Of course, the beautifully curated feeds look good and they feel good and make people want to come back, but we're searching for community, we're searching for relatability, and we're searching for authenticity before anything else. So here's what's not working. Number one is posting multiple times a day. To be honest, it's not 2020 anymore. People are back outside. People are doing things. We're not stuck in the house anymore. So people aren't running to social media as the first thing to do. They are going outside. They're doing different things. So to have 15 posts on your feed in one day is not going to sustain you. It's also almost impossible to stay that consistent. And consistency is huge when it comes to growing an account. However, if there are things that you want to post a multiple of that day, use Instagram stories. This is one of my favorite features of Instagram because you can stay active without actually having something in your feed. However, I do want stories at some point to be something that can gain more traction and gain more followers. But right now, unfortunately, I don't think that that's the case. However, it is good because it just signals that you are talking to your community. You are talking to the people who already follow you and who already want to hear your voice. The second thing I've kind of mentioned already, but that's trend chasing without any strategy. Hear me when I say this. Not every single trend needs to be done by you and put onto your Instagram account. I think that we do trends in hopes that it goes viral and we hope that we gain more followers. But I think the overarching theme here is that we are trying to build community and talk to the community that we already have before doing anything else. A viral video is nice and it's going to boost your numbers, yes, but what happens in a month from then, or 2 months, or 3 months, or a year? Are those same people that followed you from that viral video still following you to this day? And also, trends don't always line up with what we are doing within our business. For instance, I want to be cozy, chill, down to earth, and not overly flashy. And if the trend is exactly that, I should stay away from it. I'm not saying don't do any trends. I'm just saying find the trends that work for you and work for your Instagram account, your business, whatever, and make sure it stays on brand. Number 3 is random aesthetic posts. Instagram does have this more of a polished feel where it just seems like we have to have everything together and everything should be polished and aesthetic. However, if you're posting just to post something, if you just take an aesthetic picture with no inspiration, with no motivation, with no strategy, it's not going to do anything for you but be a pretty picture on your feed. And again, we are building community, we are building relatability, and we are building authenticity. Having a random aesthetic picture with no strategy behind it is not doing anything for you. And lastly is over editing. I think as business owners and content creators and people who show up online, when we see overly edited things, we think that's what our audience wants. But when we really strip it back, if we could be a fly on our audience's shoulders as they scroll on Instagram, we probably would see a lot of them scrolling past those overly edited videos because they are overstimulating. I am literally one to speak. Anytime I have anybody else other than myself edit my videos, I always say, don't overly edit. I do take out some pauses. I do take out if I mess up here or there, which you've probably seen in this video. But the goal in editing is to get your point across, not do a whole lot of things, at least with content creation. Watching an under-edited movie would be insane. So make sure that when you're creating your videos, you're doing them with authenticity, community, and relatability in mind. People want real and they want raw. So just keep that in mind when you edit. So going into 2026, this is the perspective that I would have. I need cozy and sustainable content. What do I mean by this? This means something that I can keep up with and something that I can be consistent with. I also need to put strategy first. Consistency is so much easier when there is a strategy in place. When there is no strategy, we can post for 2 weeks straight without missing a beat at 9 a.m. every single day. But then what happens when week 3 comes? We fall off, we run out of content ideas, we don't know what we're posting. So we're always gonna keep strategy first. The next thing is to have community, authenticity, and relatability first before virality. Your goal is not to go viral, your goal is to build a long-term sustainable brand. And the last long-term perspective shift that I need to have is systems and planning down. Creating content is not for the weak. I give so much props to those people who can stay on top of it and make videos and content nonstop. It is not me. So this is how I am choosing to plan my content for Instagram in 2026, and I want to give it to you for you to do the same. So here's exactly how I'm going to be planning my content for Instagram in 2026. Number 1 is having pillared content. Now, what I mean by this is literally just picking 4 to 5 topics that you talk about and making sure that all of your content fits under all of those. If you follow any social media guru, they're probably telling you to do the same thing. If you're a chef and you are trying to bring awareness to your new restaurant, some pillars that you could have are food that you make. So sharing recipes of the food you make, what it's like to be a chef and own your own restaurant, how you go about building the restaurant, and so on and so forth. Just picking those things to kind of categorize your content so that way you are not just posting anything and everything and there's no strategic plan. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is finding a weekly posting cadence. So basically, I want to find a rhythm to posting to where it makes sense for me and to my audience. So that's not posting 15 times a day, but maybe that's 3 times a week on my feed and daily in my stories. Or maybe that's 5 times a week and only 3 times a week in my stories. The beauty of being a content creator, the beauty of using social media is that your account is your account and you can use it however you want to. So just because I post 3 times a week does not mean that you have to post 3 times a week. Just because I don't post on Sundays does not mean that you can't post on Sundays. It's all up to you, your account, your choice. The next one is having a weekly or monthly planning workflow. This is the part that is the hardest for me. I am good at posting 3 times a week. I am good at keeping up in my stories. I am good at showing up on social media, but the planning part is always the hardest. Social media is always changing, so sometimes what we plan at the beginning of the year doesn't always work for the rest of the year. So making sure to have a monthly or weekly workflow to planning my content is what's going to help me stay consistent, but also stay in the rhythms of Instagram. And the last one is an engagement routine. Something that I wish that I would have heard or more people would talk about when you are a smaller creator trying to grow a business or trying to grow an account or trying to bring awareness to anything. When you are have a smaller community and not everyone is engaging, that sometimes you just don't know what to do. So having an engaging routine where you're engaging with the people that follow you or the people that have responded to your stories or making sure to reply to DMs, having a routine for that is going to be key. If I could give any advice on engaging for smaller accounts, the advice would be to respond to everybody. Respond to everybody no matter what, and respond with value, not just emojis or LOL or ha ha ha. Respond in your brand voice. Respond in your company voice, in your podcast voice. Respond authentically. So that is everything that I'm going to be doing to grow my Instagram account in 2026. I hope this helped and I hope that you are growing. Thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. Until next week, stay social.